right, the wait is over. So you guys, this is the beautiful quilt that I am going to be working on in this mini class that is entitled L-Shape Connected Corner Borders with Chunking. Say that 10 times fast. Stay tuned, everyone. So just as in the explanation in the simulation part of this video, I am going to start by placing the corner in the top left hand side. Now I'm hoping that I've sized it appropriately by undersizing that a bit in the simulation step. And remember, that's a very important key element of this design. It's just a little bit of a divergence away from how I normally build borders, but I've gotten to where I do undersize the borders just a little bit, and especially in chunking, so that they're going to fit properly when I get down to the bottom. Next, I'm going to place the corner over here in the top right, and then we're going to connect in the unit for the center part of the top, and we're going to get that all connected in Art and Stitch. I'm going to show you my little tips and tricks for marking using a pin here and there in a couple of different places. So I'm going to try to get my phone set up on the tripod and let you watch me as I mark and position my corner units to start with. Here we go. All right, so here is the corner unit that we built in simulation. You can see my crosshair over there on the left-hand side. That means that my machine is in position, but my pattern is not. Multi-point marking. Now we're going to go ahead and align the corner more accurately inside of our area box. And you all know, hopefully you know, if you don't, let me just prove the fact that we're not going to be able to use skew on a shape as this, okay? There's skew 1. Whoa, that's clearly not what we want. And there's skew 2. Again, clearly not what we want. All right, I opened up the border unit and I moved my machine into position, and I am right on top of that pin in my quilt. All right, right there, right on top of the pin mark that I gave myself 2 steps ago. So I want to show you a really quick step that I do when I'm at the quilt if my center unit does not exactly fit between the corners. Okay, so what I do, and I'm going to bring my machine back over here onto the start point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a modify resize. And I'm going to resize this border based on the width only. And what I'm doing when I do this is I'm trying to get the start points of this unit to match up more closely with my pins. Well, I'm just going to do this in a loose manner, you guys. It's not going to be precise, but in the next step, I'm going to show you how to use skew to get it to be more precisely matching your quilt. All right, if we use our sequence view and click on the little plus sign, you're going to see that we do have 3 separate units. So right now they are not connected. All right, space bar, that looks really, really good. I'm really happy. Now, let me just click on select. You guys, through all of that work that I just did, I did not take the stitching off of this pattern, okay? I did not change it back to artwork, so the stitching is still attached to this pattern. The thing that I'm going to do before I save this again to take it back to my Pro Stitcher is I'm just going to click on the stitch, the line sewing tool one more time, just to make sure that all of this is all got stitches on it. All right, it's a new day, new set of recording happening. Okay, so here I'm back, and again, I'm just going to open up that left hand first chunk there so that you can see that that's how it would have looked. Okay, so you can see on the left hand side, I made a decision to chunk that off a little bit shorter. That was going to be an easier spot for me to chunk it on. This one ended up to be a little bit longer. You make those decisions as you go along when you do chunking on the fly. Okay, let's go back. All right, I'm going to show you guys this little quilter's knot that I do. I took off my little wristband so that it's not in your way, and I'm going to try to do this where you can see it the best, okay? And another pattern here, and that's where they were connected. Okay, so it takes a little bit of practice, takes a little bit of extra time, but when you want that connection point to be seamless, that's what it takes. All right, so we are at the point where I want to show you how I recreated this block here at the quilt. All right, so here we are. What you're looking at on the screen is just a line drawing, a recreation of the block at the quilt. And then these are the 3 designs that I'm going to use to make up one new grouped unit. Mark that, mark that, mark that on all 42 blocks. That would have taken a long time. Okay, so that's how I built the block. I'm going to move on and actually show you guys a little bit of a trick that I did with duplication and rotation at the quilt because I wanted each one of my blocks to be oriented just slightly differently. So let's talk about that. All right, everyone, here we are at the bottom of the quilt, and we are ready to drop our border down at the bottom. But I would do the exact same thing. After I got it fixed up in Art and Stitch, obviously I would save it, come back over to the Pro Stitcher, reposition myself right here. I would use that follow button. I would get myself down here to the connection point, make sure that it was in a good spot, make sure that everything was fine down there. Assuming everything was fine, I would do that Pro Stitcher, new start and end, do the stop auto on, stop auto off, and so that my machine, when it stitches that last chunk, it's going to stitch from there to there, no tie-offs. I'm going to bury that knot right there and bury that knot right there. And I'm just going to pull this out a little bit so that you can see there is that glorious chunked border. And I don't know, I think those connection points are pretty darn seamless from what I can see. I think I did a pretty good job with that L border on this one, and I did it by chunking. Those of you who have and know Art and Stitch know that you can do very much the same type of thing with Art and Stitch. That product is not the focus in my studio. It's not the focus in what I teach, but it is a product that when used hand in hand with our Pro Stitcher can be such a huge benefit to helping us plan our quilting and get things set and built and pre-sized and all of those things, so that it makes your stitch outs go smoother.